Hello everybody, hi, this is Krina again. Welcome to episode number 27. And today actually, just want to go straight into the news. Actually, there's some very breaking news, right? First up, actually, there is sanctions against Bitcoin holders, right? That means the governments are actually tracking down, Bitcoin holders and actually putting sanctions. That means what does this mean? This is significant because, right, that means the anonymity element of Bitcoin is actually at stake. Yeah. And not only that, they went on to say that in future, they're going to even, basically even clamp down on all the, basically they even want to, really identify users of a number of privacy coins, right? So first is Bitcoin, which is then the precedent. Let's get into it. So last week, the US Treasury Department of Foreign Assets Control targeted 2 Bitcoin addresses, announcing that the wallets associated with an Iranian citizens, Ali Kora Shida and Mohammad Gobanian, have been added to the specially designated national sanctions list. That means what happened is they are targeting, specific people. They're tracking down these Bitcoin addresses, identify who they are, and really then, really targeting them and zeroing in on them. This is actually, it's a big element of the anonymity, right, of the censorship-resistant currency. That is the point I'm going to make here. But I'm sure now they're definitely targeting people who are suspected to do money laundering and cyber crimes. But then again, what is stopping them from pulling something like the WikiLeaks episode, right, where WikiLeaks is not actually doing anything wrong, right, but exposing the truth, but then they are still being subject to a censorship in payment. So I thought this is one of those things that can turn the principle around, right? So yeah, and definitely one of the use cases of the cryptocurrency to hide wealth, as a privacy to hide wealth, right? It's not necessarily for criminals. It's just people don't want to expose their true wealth, right? Is actually not valid anymore. That's basically the significance of this, this action by the U.S. Treasury Department. Yeah. And of course, they specifically call out, that they're going to really restrict privacy coins like Monero and Zcash. So that's actually, why a lot of people, including myself, are actually not so keen on the privacy coins, mainly because already we see a lot of the countries where they allow trading of coins like Japan, Korea, they do not allow privacy coins to be, listed or to be traded on their cryptocurrency exchanges. So, this is clearly a sign that, they is going to be up against a lot of restrictions, But having said that, I foresee also then, that's on the negative side. But on the flip side, I believe there might be even more strong privacy coin that may appear in the future that, could counter this kind of tracking because, because now there's a problem, so I think some very smart people, some very innovative people might come with a solution that really just counter this problem, which means more safe, not Monero, not Zcash, because that's what government's going to start tracking them down, who owns them. They're going to come up with probably newer version, even more cool, more secure ones that really render their holders private, right? That's what I think. Next up again, right? So Japan enacts new regulations. Yesterday, Japan announced that it will start forcing cryptocurrency exchanges to share data of its users in a bid to curb tax avoidance. So the other thing, so this is again similar, on the anonymity restriction, basically. So again, this supports that, if Japan is doing it, other exchanges other countries' regulators will most likely follow in their footsteps, right? Because after all, Japan was the first country to legitimize cryptocurrency, and now they are, cracking down on. So basically, they're regulating what they can. Is what what I've been saying all along. Regulating what they can, and definitely they want to crack this anonymity thing. element, which is, I thought, one of the very important use cases of cryptocurrency, but now it seems it's not valid anymore if that's the case. Yeah. Um, Another bad news, right? And that's why, people, please be very careful, right? Yeah, be very alert of your actions, right? Don't trust people too easily, right? Because South African man, I believe he's a trader, right? He's basically being lured, right? And he's being attacked by thugs, right? And why? Because to force him to hand over his Bitcoin password, basically, that's what he's doing. And how it happened was actually he met, someone, so it's basically a new friend on Facebook, right? And then he was lured to give a presentation in Newley Street in Middlelands Zone 5, right? And then what happened was that then he was drugged, and then he was brought to another strange place, stripped of his clothing, branded him hot iron, threatened to kill him if he doesn't comply in giving him his password. What happened now? To save his own life, of course he has to hand the password, and he had to give away 60,000 worth of Bitcoin to the attacker. Yeah, separately as well, in another case, again, a group of friends just beat up their other friend to try to extort him of his cryptocurrency. So really, first of all, I guess if you have Bitcoin, try to just keep it to yourself and not, make such big fuss about it. The other thing is be very careful, and as with all wealth, now this is even more, and this is really the big thing. So everyone is very, the criminals are actually on the lookout. So please be careful in any case, whether you have or don't have cryptocurrency, right? But if you have, of course, even more alerts, don't trust strangers too easily, right? Only go to public places, don't go to quiet alleys, and just really be careful, right, about yeah, what you do, where you go, and just be really alert of strangers. And yeah, but of course, if such unfortunate things were to happen to you, really, money is just a renewable resource. Give it away, right? Save your life. That's the most important thing. You can definitely recover back the money lost. Yeah. So, but just please stay safe, and hopefully, the South African man Andrew, he will be safe, right? Yeah. Let's pray for him. Yeah. Now on to some good news. Yeah, so Bitcoin Cash now is coming out with another gimmick. Basically, he very interesting. He come up with this tip generator, and basically enabling people to tip, to show appreciation by giving small tips in Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, that's what this is. Very interesting, and this is, I thought, very smart, because now is in Christmas time. People are in the very generous mood of giving, and yeah, Bitcoin Cash is just like, right in the marketing, and yeah, this is basically can raise awareness for them as well. And of course, it can be marketed like, you can have a crypto for everyone, right, by tipping them. Yeah. So more good news is that Nasdaq confirms Bitcoin futures launch plan for 2019. They already has said, about 2 weeks ago that they're going to launch Bitcoin futures in 2019. Now, interestingly, they're just coming up with another news just to confirm it again that it definitely will go live, but subject to CFTC approval, which means the government's approval, right? So, but again, I would say that, yes, so they said possibly first half. It might be 1Q. 1Q will be great because BAT is then also in 1Q. But then again, I won't be surprised if it get delayed, right? But sounds like it's definitely going to happen. But then they can, push the blame to the government, giving a delay in the approval. So it might be, another one of those things. So I would say don't get your hopes up. So really, just focus on the long term, right? Don't let this kind of news derail you. But it's interesting when they come out to confirm it again. Yeah. And Bitcoin nuclear winter doesn't scare billionaire crypto bull Jim Breyer. So one of another, in addition to people like Tim Draper, uh, Andreessen Markowitz, right, who are early investors in Facebook, Airbnb, and Twitter. Jim Breyer is also similar vein, billionaire investor, venture capitalist, right? He was also an early investor in Facebook, and he basically think that the promise offered by the technology is too great for it to be permanently buried by short-term market movements. Yeah, and I thought that he offered interesting insights, which I thought is this. Uh, um, so amidst the doom and gloom, however, Breyer says he's unfazed, drawing on his experience as a venture capitalist, including famously becoming an early in Facebook investor in 2005. He believed the crypto market will rebound, driven principally by increasing adoption of blockchain technology. According to him, his many meetings with students, entrepreneurs, and technologists all over the world is what convinces him that the downturn will be temporary. In his words, so many of the very best computer scientists and deep learning PhD students and postdocs are working on blockchain because they have so much fundamental interest in what blockchain can mean. You don't want to bet against the best and brightest in the world. So this is very interesting. It's a new insight. So definitely yes, I agree, and I believe as well in this, because really all the bright people in the future are actually going into this space. So I believe that they are definitely going to crack all the solutions to the big problems in this world using blockchain, and that just can is very good for mankind, definitely. And that's why the long term is promising, long term prospects promising. So that's great, right? Now, another good news is that while Japan and the US, are cracking down on really on the people who have Bitcoin and privacy coins, on the flip side, there are very countries that are much more liberal, who really want to invest more, want to attract more investments into their country, when they want to label themselves or position themselves as like the crypto heaven, right? So Switzerland latest news is that they basically allow the crypto startups to accept up to 100 million in deposits from individuals. This is basically what it means is that, well, the only condition is that they cannot reinvest or cannot pay interest on this money. So this is a big news, because only banks so far can accept deposits from individuals. But now they're allowing these crypto startups. That means that these companies can basically do a crowdfunding, right? Crowdfunding, because lending will you pay interest. So basically, they're allowing them to do crowdfunding, up to 100 million. That's a lot of money, and yeah. So yeah, that's good. So basically, it's again, this is in line with the previous news of Jim Breyer saying that countries like Switzerland, like Singapore, are basically trying to boost innovation, right? Trying to encourage investments as well into the countries, of course. And with this, then basically it can have funding, to really make sure the people who are smart, who are innovative, will really do what they want to do and to solve the world's problem. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching, and hope you have a great day. And if you like this, I encourage you to have a like and subscribe to my channel. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and yeah, just live with energy, live passion. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.